Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us here on WCNC Plus. I say it all the time. Just keep your TV on WCNC Plus.
Just the background.
Something's always on.
Yeah.
Something's always on. Live Impact News. Something's always happening. One of the things that are happening, we were talking about it right before we got into the show. Weather.
That's right.
I had like a glitch during the 4 p.m. show yesterday.
Oh no.
So I said,
what kind of glitch are you talking?
I was kind of like, so I was tossing to Becca and I said,
Yep.
We're back in the 90s. And Becca.
What you think, like 1999?
Right. Well, I could feel Becca like have that confused face. And then Jane looked at me like, back in the 90s, we never left.
Right.
And I confused it with 100s. Because it feels like we're back in the 100. I mean, It's not actually 100.
Sure, but it feels like it.
It feels like it, right?
Yeah.
It's really hot. I feel like we kind of had like a brief break where it felt regular
heat. Yeah.
Now the oven is like on.
Well, it's swampy. It's swampy in here. It's swampy in here. It's swampy out there. We're living in a hot tub.
The oven is on, Carlene,
That's right.
and I'm not. I mean, I hate to be the guy to say it could be worse, but
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could be a lot worse.
And we just it's been like sort of a wonky weather summer when it comes to weather.
Yep.
Rainfall, really really hot.
Yep.
We've had like 1 or 2 days where I believe like we were like right there at 80.
Yep.
Which was nice.
Oh my
I
gosh,
love that. Even I went for a walk this morning. And it was swampy outside.
Yeah.
I was sweating. You're gonna be mad.
Did you run?
I didn't run today. Today's not a run. Today was a lifting day.
Gotcha.
So and tomorrow will be a running day. But I think I want to run inside tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired of running.
Running outside. It gets to the point where
it's just
it's miserable.
It feels like I jumped in the lake.
Right.
After I get done.
Right. And
running.
you haven't even done 2 steps and you already feel
Right.
like,
Yeah. I'm just like
Yeah.
I just I get grossed out by my own sweat.
You know who's not gross? You know who's not gross?
Who?
Majestic Storm.
Majestic Storm is here. How are you doing, Majestic?
Anything but gross.
Good. I totally get how you feel though with the running and the sweat. It's like so muggy. I'm from Washington State, so I am not used to this type of humidity at all.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I think you just got to get used to it. But then when you say something about a lake, like where you felt like you jumped in a lake, I feel like I want to jump in a lake to cool down.
Right.
But they're not that cool. They're
No.
I'm like, is this kind of like a bath or what is going on?
You go to the Atlantic Ocean, go to the beach. It's cold, still cold.
It's cooler.
Still
It's
cold.
cooler.
Because
Yeah.
the ocean doesn't warm up here until about August, right, Carlene?
Right. Like in
What
August.
about like a cold spring? Do they have springs here, like natural spring?
Do they?
I mean, there's like natural. There's.
I don't want to lie and say yes.
I would say like I don't know. If you go to the mountains, there's cooler water. If there's like more waterfalls, and if you go to like Slide and Rock up there in North Carolina, you got some. Maybe areas.
Maybe if somebody's watching and you know where I can actually go swimming where it's cool, let us know.
You can email her at mstorm, and I'm making an email. I don't know what you're. Okay, so look, the oven is on. I think it's going to stay on for a while. Are we going to get? We're weather alert.
We're weather alert today.
I should start with that. We're weather alert.
Yes, and here's the thing: like we've had these typical pop-up showers and thunderstorms nearly every single day, but we've decided to do weather alert today to become weather alert because we're concerned that these storms, they're going to be those slow moving storms that could ultimately lead to some flooding and flash flooding. So we're watching that. That's actually a live look outside, so it's still not too bad for your lunchtime forecast. I mean, those are just big cumulus clouds, so we'll continue to see them take over more cloud coverage later on in the afternoon, and with the clouds will come some showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow, as you're planning ahead, still a couple of rain and storm chances. They'll be lower though, and then we're still watching for some tropical development. So let's just go ahead and look at a few of our live cameras here. This is Monroe out there, noticing more cloud coverage. It's still pretty though. It was a wet start to the morning. We actually had some rain showers. Maybe you slept in late and missed it, but now it's not bad from mid-morning, early afternoon. There's another live look out there in Dallas, Lake Norman. So if you want to beat the storms, if you want to beat the next round of rain, now still not a bad time to get outside. However, here's our satellite and radar. So kind of big picture perspective, taking a look across the Carolinas, already starting to see some activity. So some scattered rain showers, a few pop-up storms. But as we zoom it on into our viewing area, not seeing anything too significant. Perhaps up towards the mountains, seeing a little bit of activity. Now again, these storms, they'll start out very, very isolated, but I do think that as we progress throughout the afternoon, they're going to become these storms where they just dump a lot of rain in a quick amount of time. So flooding, flash flooding, that's going to be our #1 concern. So I'm zooming in just right here, just south of Morganton, starting to see a little pop up right there. And that heat and humidity, I mean, we're still bringing it today. It's not a cool day. I mean, it's cooler than yesterday, but I mean, relatively speaking, it's still going to feel like we're in the upper 90s and even some low 100s. So that all provides fuel for storms in the afternoon. And it's one of those forecasts that can be kind of deceiving. You're looking outside thinking, what storms are you talking about? They're just not here quite yet. But whenever I look at this map, this graphic here, and I'm seeing areas shaded in yellow, that automatically is some concern for flooding. So excessive rain impacts a lot of our viewing areas under this. It's a medium level risk, meaning that flooding is going to be heightened and flash flooding as well. But I also want to point out, if you're watching from a county shaded in orange, or excuse me, in green right here from Charlotte over towards Concord and Rock Hill, still be aware that these storms will be very sporadic. They'll be very scattered, even in areas shaded in gray. I think everyone, just bottom line, you need to stay aware of what's going on today in the sky, especially if you plan on being outside. So Futurecast showing you what radar could look like. Here's 2 o'clock. So this puts things into perspective, what radar could look like during this time. So I'm noticing this is not widespread. Not everyone will receive this active weather, but we've issued the WCNC weather alert day because we're concerned that some neighborhoods in our viewing area will receive active weather, and we want to be sure that we're on this for you so that you're prepared for what could happen. And what could happen today is flooding, flash flooding, gusty winds, even dangerous lightning. And you know what? If it doesn't happen in your neighborhood, then great. You know, you kind of dodged that bullet because this is a severe weather threat. Here's 6 o'clock now. Pausing time, most of the activity is west of I-77, Lincolnton, Shelby, Morganton, up towards Taylorsville, and then far east of that as well. So again, very scattered, very sporadic in nature. Pausing time, one more time, there's about 10 o'clock. This is when it starts to move even a little bit closer to the Charlotte metro area. I think that really parts of Charlotte will get impacted by this. So this could be any time between 6, 10 o'clock, even for the Charlotte metro area, where you may get caught in one of these isolated storms where the rain's coming down so heavily and the storms are moving so slowly that it could make for difficult travel, especially maybe you're traveling home from work or just out on those roads a little bit later in the evening. So make sure you're just slowing it down and being cautious. And another thing when it comes to flooding is, you know, typically if you live in a flood area, flood prone area, if you do, be aware of this today, because as these slow moving storms continue to move through, we could see a fast rise in rivers, streams, creeks. We see that all the time across the Carolinas, and this seems to be a perfect setup for that. So locally, that's what we're watching. And then I just wanted to give one quick update on the tropical development. Still following this because this is a big story really nationally. The National Hurricane Center still has that 40% chance for a next tropical development to form within the next 2 to 7 days, likely Thursday and into Friday. And our tracks are showing that it could bring some impact straight into Louisiana. So still that area of low pressure, that's the system that we're watching. As it moves across Florida, it gains momentum and organization throughout the Gulf because of those warm waters, everything really coming together. So if that does happen, of course, we'll be watching that as well, but it may actually increase some of our rain chances as it kind of lifts north, and we'll get some of the remnants of it. And you can kind of see that reflected here in the 7-day. 60% chance for us. So remember, do you guys remember what 60% chance of rain means? Because people get confused with Come
that
on,
there
let's
is
see.
a 60% chance that it's going to rain.
You just said the words.
I know.
That's why I brought it up.
There's
Because
a
people
percentage
really
that
get
60% of our area will see rain.
Good job. So it means that we're confident.
That's just said that.
60.
That's not what you said.
That's not what you
I
said.
kind of said that.
So we think 60% of our area will be impacted today by rain, and then we'll watch for those storms.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. You got me
that's
this
what's
time,
going on.
Carly.
That's right.
If I ever quiz you again, we just can't let it happen twice. Okay?
Well, I didn't know we were going to do quiz. I wasn't mentally
That's the point of
prepared
a
for a
pop
quiz.
though.
Yeah.
That's why I failed all the pop quizzes.
I know you'll get me back one day, so that's okay.
We're okay. We're gonna have her back tomorrow. I'm just making up stuff right now, but no. Next time we have you back, I'll be prepared mentally for this quiz because I wasn't prepared today.
And I'll also be mentally prepared next time I come here. I'll be like, all right, I have a feeling he might drop something, so gotta be on my A game.
Well, look, I got to give you credit because she did the morning show, so for her to still be mentally
It's time for her
sharp
to go to
and pop quizzes.
Right.
Go to bed.
We gotta keep it going. Okay, fine. I'll leave. If I must leave work, I will.
No, we love having you here. We respect your sleep.
Thank you guys. But yeah, well, that's kind of the big story today. Of course, Becca's going to be in tonight tracking the storm. So anyone that's watching, you can always just download the WCNC app too, because as the storms develop, we'll just track exactly what we're seeing. And that's always so helpful because they're so spread out, you know. Not everyone gets them, but sometimes those very isolated storms could be very strong and dangerous too.
Majestic, thank you for your time. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Carlene, did you know it's a 60% chance for our area?
I did. Do you know? Because you failed that. You failed that question.
I was trying to reiterate it just so
you can remember it.
So I could own it.
If you say it 3 times, you'll probably get it.
See, you know what, Carlene? You know, see how Carlene.
It's been a minute since we've been in college.
Right.
We gotta get our study skills back.
Yeah, we do.